We are awaiting a verdict in the case of former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter. There are signs now that the jury may be deadlocked. Potter says she mistakenly fired a gun instead of a taser when she killed Daunte Wright during a traffic stop back in April. We got attorney Brian Claypool standing by to weigh in on the details, but let's now bring in attorney Brian Claypool. Brian, you heard Garrett's reporting there. What do you make of these two questions the jury asked the judge? Most, especially, does it sound like they are indeed deadlocked?
Well, hi, Jillian. Thanks for having me, and Merry Christmas. So the first question is, what happens if they can't reach a verdict? Well, it's going to be a hung jury, and that means that there might be a trial again. But I think the more important question the jury asked, which I think favors the prosecution, is they wanted to pull, take the gun that Potter used and feel the gun. That's important. Why? Because testimony in the case established that a taser weighs 50% less than a gun. So that, to me, favors the prosecution. But, Jillian, I'm not surprised at all, by the way, the amount of time it's taking to deliberate. Remember, it's very rare to prosecute a police officer in the United States, right? Also, who do we call when we need help? We call the police. So in a 100-yard dash, police officers always get a 10-yard head start in cases like this.
That's an interesting point you just flagged about the jury wanting to handle the weapon. I didn't pick up on that on my own, so I'm glad you said this. So this gets to kind of the heart of what the prosecution's case has been all along, right? Which is, look, she was a highly trained officer. She should have and probably did know better. So any confusion and what have you in the moment is all on her.
Absolutely. And I think if there is a retrial, which there will be if there's a hung jury, Jillian, I think what the prosecution has to do to seal a guilty verdict is do what you're talking about. I would have started from when Kim Potter was in the car. Remember, she testified at trial, hey, I wouldn't have even pulled this guy over for a tag infraction, right? So why did you pull him over, Miss Potter? And then let's go to the next round where they're putting handcuffs on Daunte Wright. Well, last time I checked the video, he's outside the car. How did he get back inside the car? Why are you using a trainee to put handcuffs around Daunte Wright, Miss Potter? Why didn't you put handcuffs on him? He would have never gotten back in. But let's get to the key point. The holster, Jillian. The taser is on the left side because Kim Potter's right-handed, and she pulls out her gun, and there's no click. There's actually a click on the gun, but not a click on the taser. The taser's a big, wide grip, weighs 50% less than a gun. And then here's the kicker. There's a photo in evidence where she's pointing the gun. If I'm prosecution, I would have broken down how many seconds that was, right? 1, 2, 3. Why? Because that shows consciously in her mind. She has to know that that's a gun. And then why didn't she give a verbal command? Hey, Mr. Wright, I'm going to shoot with a taser if you don't surrender right now. And then why was a police officer reaching in on the passenger side of the door? I've done a lot of police cases. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to come up on the side, look behind the window for other people in the car and potential weapons in the car. You never put your arm in the car when you're on the passenger side. Why is that important? That created a crossfire issue where when she's shooting, she could have hit the woman in the car next to Daunte Wright. She could have hit the other officer. That's what I would be doing in the next trial when there is one. I think there might be.
Wow. Well, Brian, thanks so much for getting into some of the nitty-gritty details there with us. Really illuminating stuff. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks. Merry Christmas.
You too.